Hello Portugal. Hi everyone, my name is David and I welcome you. Good news for house buyers Portugal. Each summer, fires ravage the country. I'll share 4 tools with you to keep track. Can you drive in flip-flops? The police have an answer. In sport, it's sod aid affecting us past days. Intro. €120,000 at the amount paid by Portuguese Insta of internal administration for 2 paintings, internal administration for 2 meanings, force is all down. Let me tell you this story and stay in the end because there are 2 shows on cake, and in all thin comments. So, Maria Lucia Amaral makes decisions with full Portugal, forward one. And in fact, in 2023, the offices of this body of the Republic moved. They have now been set up in the Villalva Palace in Lisbon. They are based at Villalva Palace in Lisbon. And you see, you need to decorate new space. So, according to Wikisol, Maria Lucia Amaral placed an order to painting for the artist Greco More for €120,000, painting for the artist Greco More for €120,000. Here is the contract published in April 2025. No call for tenders. So, no other artist could submit proposals with a price even cheaper. No, it's a private contract with no competition. In response to media, Maria Lucia Amaral says the acquisition followed a selection process not subject to competition, and all rules were followed. Since then, Maria Lucia Amaral resigned as ombudswoman to become Minister of Internal Administration in Luis Montenegro's government. But actually, who is the artist, and is the price really excessive? Well, the weekly magazine looked into that. According to Sol, Greco More, 77 years old, is one of the most prominent Portuguese visual artists. In 2022, €15,000 for the canvas of another highly sought-after artist. There are still 2 interesting points, as I mentioned to you. Firstly, most Portuguese people will never see these works. Comment below what you think. Careful. Portuguese pensioners will lose their pension if they don't declare themselves alive. Those living in Luxembourg or Switzerland must do so before the end of November. Spread the word if you know anyone. So why is that? According to the government, €11 million paid in 2024 to pensioners deceased. How is that possible? Well, simply as the death was not reported to the Portuguese Social Security. Affected, Portuguese pension recipients abroad. The Portuguese Social Security will therefore send a notification to those concerned. This year, only pensioners in Switzerland or Luxembourg are affected. In 2026, those living in the Netherlands, Belgium, Cape Verde, and the United Kingdom will be added. In 2026, those living in the Netherlands, Belgium, Cape Verde, and the United Kingdom will be added. In 2027, December, all pensioners will have to make a declaration every year before the 15th of September. How do you prove you're alive? That could be a question on a philosophy exam. So, I've taken this from an article by Decodes, a consumer protection organization. Consumer organization. I'll put the link in the description. First, log in to Segurança Social Diretor website. You'll need to show ID card and face in front of device's camera. In person, at an embassy abroad or at an administration office in Portugal, by presenting your ID card. Finally, you can do it in paper form by sending one of these two documents, either the available form. Also, be careful of possible scams. The proof of life is free of charge, so if someone asks you for money, you're in the wrong place. Good news. Mortgage interest rates are falling in Portugal. If you want to buy a house or if you already have a loan, things are looking up. Bank of Portugal has published figures June. The average rate is 2.91%. That's the lowest level in nearly 3 years. Even better, June marks the 19th drop in 20 months. Even better, you're more likely to get a better rate in Portugal than elsewhere in Europe, as the Portuguese average is below the Eurozone average. France, Belgium, Luxembourg, Netherlands, Hungary have higher rate than Portugal. That word comparison, you have to look at what fixed variable or mix. And the Portuguese variable, it can hurt a lot. In fact, it seems like a change has been happening in Portugal since the end of 2023. The proportion of variable rates is dropping. We're going from around 90% to 56% of loans. The Portuguese seem to be swapping variable rates for mixed rates, which combine fixed and variable. This rate now accounts for 39% of loans. In short, rates are falling, and that's good news for the Portuguese. Here are 4 tools to track wildfires in Portugal. First is Civil Protection Map, lists interventions and resources used. It also separates operations according to their danger or how far they've progressed. Next, there's the website photos. BT, which uses the civil protection tools but with a slightly different layout. You can add filters for temperature, wind, clouds, and so on. You can also follow events in a list format. The third tool is from the Integrated Rural Fire Management System. Here you can go back in time to see how things progressed. You can also add filters to the map. The last tool is from the Portuguese Institute for Sea and Atmosphere. It shows fire risk and current restrictions in each area. When you click on a territory, you can see which activities are prohibited or not. I'll take this opportunity to give a brief summary. According to the latest figures from the Institute for Nature Conservation and Forests, 33,224 hectares have burned up to the 31st of July. Maybe you've already wondered about this. Portuguese police confirm driving in flip-flops or barefoot is allowed. However, safety is key, as damaged flip-flops can snag pedals. Can get caught in the pedals, and when you drive barefoot, you have less strength and control. In short, use your common sense. It's your life and the lives of others at stake. On the sports front, these last few days, Sodade. Jorge Costa's death. Obicho has been struck down by a cardiac arrest. And Sodade hits me right in the heart. A whole part of my childhood memories turns to black and white. And there I was, in front of an old cathode ray TV, on an old velvet-style sofa. I remember at my aunt's because we were living there, because my parents had sold their house to live in Portugal, and I was following Porto's run with passion. That photo was awful. And Porto ended up winning the cup, and the following year, they went even further. There was Obicho, of course, and there was also Mourinho, the architect. There was also Mourinho, the architect. There was Deco, the magician. There was Manish, the artilleryman, with his 40-meter strike smash goal. There was Vita Bayer, the wall, and they won the Champions League. At 13, I saw a Portuguese club conquer Europe and the world. You have to picture it. It's incredible. To leave us at 53, leaving behind a wife and children. Among tributes, Jose Mourinho's reaction sums it up well. The feeling shared by many of us. Thank you, Captain. Right, let's take a breather before we leave you with the agenda. What can you do in Portugal over the next few days? In the Algarve, the Silves Medieval Fair is on until the 16th of August. It's a chance to immerse yourself in Portuguese history again. If you love parades and costumes, you'll be treated. In Crato, near Portugal, head to the Crato Festival from August 27th to 30th. Enjoy concerts, a craft and gastronomy fair, satisfying every craving. Plenty to please everyone. Thank you very much for listening. It's been a pleasure. If you want to see more, support my work, sharing this video, leaving a comment, and subscribing to the channel. If you have any feedback, you can send me an email via the address in the description. See you next time.